Okay, Year 13 says our second example for differentiating using the product rule. Just before we continue on, I'll bring the product rule across so that we've got it front and center for our next example. So we'll place that there. And we'll start by writing out this equation as y equals uv, where u equals the first part of our function, so 2x minus 7 all to the power of 5, and where v equals this next part of the function, x minus 6 all to the power of 3. So we have to start by differentiating each of these bits, u and v. So I'm going to write out du by dv. This function here, because it has a function with a power, we have to differentiate it using the chain rule. And this is where it's really important that you've gotten fluent enough with the chain rule that you can differentiate something with the chain rule without really thinking about it. And so I'm going to write it as 5 bracket 2x minus 7 to the power of 4. And that has to be times by the derivative of what we've got on the inside, which is 2. So that's going to simplify to 10 bracket 2x minus 7 to the power of 4. Okay, now we're going to do dv by dx. So dv by dx, which just makes me realize I've made a mistake over here. That needs to be dx. So dv by dx, that is going to be 3x minus 6 to the power of 2. And because x differentiates to 1, it's going to be timesing 1 here, so 1 doesn't change it, so that's our final derivative. Now we're going to substitute these things into our formula for the product rule. So I can write out dy by dx equals u, which is 2x minus 7 to the 5, times dv by dx, which is 3x minus 6 squared, plus v, which is x minus 6 to the power of 3, times u, which is, times du by dx, which is 10 times 2x minus 7 all to the power of 4. Now we need to just simplify things a little bit, so we're going to write it as 3x minus, actually I'm going to write 3x, 3 times 2x minus 7 to the power of 5 times x minus 6 squared, plus 10 times x minus 6 to the power of 3 times 2x minus 7 all to the power of 4. I could simplify this further if I wanted to, because I've got brackets here that are the same, and so I could factorize out those brackets, but there's actually not a lot of point in doing that, because the lowest power here is 2, which would mean I'd still have brackets in the factors, so I'm just going to leave it as that at the moment. So similar to the last problem as well, this first line here, that is what is acceptable for NCEA, and this is what we're doing as mathematicians, and you just need to be aware of the distinction between those two. And I'd just really like to highlight in this example that all of this stuff is made a million times easier if you know the chain rule off by heart and you don't have to go through all of the extra working. So if you need to do more work on the chain rule, come and see me and we'll work something out. But for practicing the product rule, you've got exercise 15.08 to have a go at, and that is where I will leave this video.